Hi, I'm Inbar Oren, Chief Product Officer at Scaled Agile. This is new for us. Usually we announce framework updates at one of our SAFe summits and share incremental updates to features throughout the year. But it has been over 2 years since we've been able to meet you in person at the SAFe Summit. During this time, our world has changed. Digital disruption, emerging technologies, and COVID have all redefined our world. And through it all, you continue to inspire us with stories about how SAFe has helped you innovate and build the world's most important solutions. These stories help drive me to think about how we can make SAFe even better. We're taking a different approach to launching SAFe updates, and so we're happy to welcome you to our very first SAFe launch. Before we get started with today's announcements, I want to share some of the feedback that helped drive what we're launching today. When we took a SAFe class and got back to our organizations, many of us asked ourselves, how do I do this? We weren't feeling confident in what we do next. I can still remember how terrified I felt when I facilitated my first PI planning or launched my first art. This is even harder if you're new in your role. We're all experiencing a massive shift in the workforce. People who have been in their jobs for a long time are moving on, and lots of new faces are coming in. We knew we had to do more so all of us could be confident in leading the change and practicing SAFe. That's why we're introducing new tools and resources around 3 key themes of SAFe as the operating system for business agility. First, deliver value to customers faster. Second, put your money where your priorities are. And third, SAFe takes practice, and practice matters. So let's get started.
When we decided to revisit our value streams, I wish I had known more about the influencing we need to operate with the top management. It was challenging because the people knew everything about their own context, and I was there to lead them, to guide them, and make them aligned into how the value flow is being executed. That could be sometimes tricky for them because value is often resonating as monetary value. And for some parts of the organization, it's more about the customer satisfaction, the lead time, that is the value that they bring, because it's a combination of sequencing of different groups to create full solutions that are being sold. And then how we can guide them to mature and to grow, exciting and inspiring for connecting the future of our organization around value and how we can constantly improve ourselves in the way we deliver the value to our customers.
Hey everyone, it is great to see so many of you here today. My name's Andrew Sales, I'm a SAFe Fellow and member of the framework team here at Scaled Agile. And I have to tell you, I'm super excited to talk to you on the topics of organizing around value and how you can accelerate value delivery for your customers. Now, I've been working in SAFe for a long time, and as you know, we're in the business of giving you the tools you need to work differently and build the future. And I'm super excited to be here today to talk to you about organizing around value and accelerating value delivery for your customers. Now, over the past year, SBCs and change agents like yourselves have told us directly that these topics can be really frustrating. Specifically, you've said they're hard to understand. The organization is afraid of change, and people just feel overwhelmed by the journey in front of them. And as a product manager at Scaled Agile, when I hear these things, they keep me up at night. So what is it that we can do? Well, we've created some new content that I'm going to share with you today to help you navigate these challenges. So let's have a look. Now, accelerating value delivery involves 3 topics: organizing around value, value stream mapping, and metrics. So let's start with organizing around value. What does that mean? Well, it starts by identifying value streams in your organization. And what I'm talking about here is all the activities that go from an idea to delivering a solution, and then organizing your people around this flow of value. So why do we do this? Well, we want to minimize handoffs and dependencies. We want to reduce delays, all so that you can create valuable products and services and deliver them to market faster. So to get you started with this topic, we've built a brand new Organize Around Value page on the SAFe community platform. Now, what's our goal with this page? Well, we want to give you all the resources you need to guide you through the 4 key stages of this journey. It starts with generating buy-in. Then you're going to prepare to identify value streams and arts. Then you're going to run the SAFe Value Stream and Identification workshop. And finally, you're going to take action. And the real stars of this page are our brand new practice guides. These are self-paced, interactive, online assets for each step of the journey. Let's take a look at one together. Now, you've told us that getting the C-suite and other stakeholders on board for this change is a huge challenge. The Generating Buy-in Practice Guide is going to help you with this. It's full of resources that will help you understand what's involved, help you to mitigate some of the challenges and convince those skeptics. It's going to show stakeholders real-world stories from other customers that have successfully got their leaders on board. And finally, you're going to create an action plan to get all the support you need to organize around value. How can you use them? Well, you can use these practice guides individually or maybe come together as a team. And its modular design means that you can progress to the next section when you're ready to take the next step, increasing your knowledge incrementally and updating your action plan as you go. Okay, let's see what else is available to help you navigate the other stages of organizing around value. Let's have a look at the Prepare to Identify Value Streams and Arts step. And here you're going to find the resources you need ahead of running that critical Value Stream and Art Identification workshop. You're going to find a preparation guide with specific activities, a workshop readiness checklist, and videos highlighting best practices, as well as giving you tips for organizing around value in organizations that are building some of the world's largest solutions. Now, once your preparation is complete, you're ready to run that workshop. And here you're going to find enablement videos to guide you through the process successfully and help you understand how to facilitate the event. You're going to find pre-designed interactive workspaces in SAFe Collaborate so that everyone can participate, even remotely. And of course, you've got the toolkit with the downloadable slides and workbooks for running the workshop itself. You've completed the workshop. What's next? Taking action. So let's create that implementation plan. Let's help you launch those arts, and let's let you reap the benefits of your hard work. You're going to find resources like the Art Canvas. It's going to really help you as you capture the key outcomes from the workshop and start defining your success measures. But keep in mind, organizing around value is not a once and done activity. You should run this workshop on a cadence as the work that your organization does changes, or as often as you need to respond to threats and opportunities. And of course, our commitment, as we learn more, will continue evolving the guidance and the resources in the Organize Around Value page on the SAFe community platform. Okay, so what's next? Well, now that you've been operating this way for a while, it's time to dedicate yourself to optimizing the flow of value through these value streams. And that's where value stream mapping comes in. It's an essential tool to improve the flow of value because it gives you visibility to identify bottlenecks and problem areas that cause delays. And the process starts with a value stream mapping workshop. And just like the Organizing Around Value page that I showed you earlier, the value stream mapping page has a similar format. And it's available to all SBCs and learners that are included on a SAFe Enterprise subscription. Now, this page has all the resources you need to prepare for and facilitate the workshop. And that includes enablement videos to guide you through the process. It includes the content itself for distributing to the attendees in the workshop. It includes safe collaborate templates for remote delivery. And it also includes a foundational e-learning guide to help you understand how to get the most successful outcomes when you deliver the workshop in your organization. So we want you to use these resources to run this workshop with a cross-functional group of participants, including leaders, to deliver successful outcomes in your enterprise. And what might that look like? Well, it might include a detailed map of your current state value stream and its performance metrics. It's going to include a list of major bottlenecks that impact delivery flow, and of course, a detailed design of your future state value stream with projected, measurable benefits. And of course, most importantly, an action plan with backlog items to implement right away. All right, so your action plan is up and running. You're ready to implement those tactics. You need to think about measuring the results and then communicating how all your hard work is positively impacting the organization. Which means only one thing: it's time to talk about metrics. So why are metrics so important? Well, they're going to help you answer 3 critical questions. Firstly, are the changes that you've made improving outcomes for your business and your customers? Secondly, are you increasing the efficiency of your value streams and accelerating time to market? And finally, are your teams gaining the real skills they need to effect improvements? So where do you start? The good news, we have a dedicated Measure and Grow page on the SAFE community platform. It's accessible to all SAFE members, and there you're going to find the guidance you need to apply metrics at each level of your organization, specifically across the 3 measurement domains of outcomes, flow, and competency. And where to get started? There's a short video on that page that will guide you through the process and help you understand the work that's involved. And then when you're ready to take the next step and start to measure competency, why not use the SAFE assessments? And here's a pro tip. Why not set a baseline of where you are today by running the business agility assessment? Measure the level of business agility across your organization and start to think about the improvements that you can make. And to help you do that, download the Measure and Grow Toolkit. It's going to support you through the whole process. So let's remind ourselves what we've covered. We started by explaining the critical mission of accelerating value delivery to your customers. And we've shared with you all the critical resources you need to be successful on that journey. Now I want you to do something. I want you to think about the first step that you can take. I want you to grab that practice guide to start generating buy-in with your leaders in your organization for organizing around value. I want you to build your action plan and start thinking about the first steps that you can take. And as you do that, if you'd like to share it with others or give access to your team members, please get in touch with us here at Scaled Agile or with your Scaled Agile partner to learn more about a SAFE enterprise subscription. So I want to say a big thank you. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me today. Please remember that we always welcome your feedback. It helps us improve what we do. And I want to wish you all the best as you take the first steps in your journey of accelerating value delivery in your organization.
For us as a business in the Oceania region, we started with our first train, and then we started our second train. And then one of the things that happened quite quickly is that at a global level, there was a lot of interest in what we were doing. And this has really kind of brought us to where we are today, which is the implementation of LPM.
We faced several challenges implementing LPM. And I would say that one of the biggest one was to change and move from a very controlled portfolio management based on a lot of controls, based on prioritizing individual projects, into really moving into a more flexible and broad prioritization according to value generation.
From a financials perspective, is during that process, we have to do the change management of not just the solution, but also the financials. Whereas when we moved towards a more agile approach using a sprint-based approach, what we actually did was, instead of asking for, can I have this amount of money to do this solution, we asked for, can you fund me a team with the capability that allows us to deliver these types of solutions? So finance, although at the beginning were uncomfortable with the unknown nature of what we were going to do with the money.
You always know that you need to speak in terms that people can understand. But I think that I personally underestimated the importance of taking the terminology that we have with, the SAFE framework and putting it in words and context that our leadership could wrap their head around.
To be able to have a consistent mechanism across the world and a consistent language is actually the reason why LPM is so important for our evolution over the next 12, 24 months with our new UVANS brand, because ultimately that UVANS brand is an agile way of going to market, which will accelerate across our industries and horizontals of focus, and will be the glue that brings us as a business together to try and drive it. So it wasn't a case of why do we want to do LPM, it was a case of we needed to do LPM because it's the natural evolution for us as a business.
When you are talking with technology leaders and folks who are delivering capabilities from a technology lens and to help them understand what their value streams are, that's an area where I wish that there were additional resources.
Hi there, I'm Dima Dajani, a product manager at Scaled Agile. LPM has been my passion for several years. I've helped implement it at enterprises in different industries, and more recently right here at Scaled Agile, which has been amazing. Implementing LPM is complex. It can be a long journey filled with a lot of organizational change. We heard from change agents like you about their experience, both in launching as well as in advancing their implementation. Leaders involved in LPM were experiencing decision fatigue. They were getting pressure from adjacent groups to revert back to previous ways of working. Members of the art were nervous about taking on new epics approved by the portfolio because of their strained capacity. But the one thing I've heard from everyone is, show me how it's done. We knew we needed to do more to support you in this journey. So we did a year of in-depth research at organizations worldwide that were actually practicing LPM. We observed how they were implementing it, what was working, and the challenges that could derail the implementation. And that's when I got really excited to synthesize all we learned to help you be successful in your journey. We started by revamping the LPM Getting Started workshop, which happens on the third day of the LPM course. By the way, it's available to all class attendees. We weaved in those proven success patterns in the workshop to help you focus on the early decisions and the people you need to align, change leadership tactics that you need to apply, and how to run a successful LPM kickoff event with your stakeholders. And guess what? According to the early feedback, attendees are feeling far more confident to launch LPM. Okay, so let's say you've taken the LPM class, completed the workshop, and now you're ready to implement. I know what you're thinking. How do I successfully evolve LPM beyond this point? Introducing the LPM Practice Guide. It's a self-paced online asset with several modules designed to take you through the entire LPM journey, step by step. Think of it as on-demand advice and resources on how to complete the next step in your LPM journey. The practice guide weaves in assets including checklists, templates, presentation slides, and example artifacts, like the portfolio canvas. The practice guide lives on the Adopt LPM page on the SAFE community platform, and it's available to SPCs, SAFE Enterprise members, and LPM class attendees. From the moment you leave class, use the practice guide resources to align, organize, strategize, operate, govern, and measure your lean portfolio. I hope you log in today to start using the LPM Practice Guide to confidently launch and evolve your implementation. And if you'd like to share access with more members of your team, reach out to Scaled Agile or your Scaled Agile partner to learn more about the Safe Enterprise subscription. And finally, we have some very special learning resources for those of you in leadership positions, specifically managers and directors. You all know how critical Lean Agile leadership is to a successful transformation. So we're happy to introduce the Leading in the Digital Age series, a leadership development program that blends a live and self-paced learning formats. You can now experience the two modules, Leading by Example and Accelerating Change Leadership. Leading by Example focuses on the skills you need to be an authentic leader, develop emotional competence, and act with courage. Accelerating Change Leadership, built in collaboration with Cotter International, gives you the tools you need to drive successful change. These modules are designed to be run as a cohort inside your organization, and they integrate pre-class online learning with time for attendees to interact, so they can share and reinforce their learning in live settings. If this piques your interest, check out the Leading in the Digital Age webpage to learn more. Or get in touch with us to find out how you can be validated to lead a cohort. Thanks for joining me today. We can't wait to hear your feedback.
On my first day as an RT, I was really excited, but I was also very nervous.
So my first day as an RT was quite overwhelming.
Exciting, scary, and exhilarating.
I understood that the RT role was really pivotal in delivering the key objectives for my organization, and that they were showing an awful lot of trust in me.
I was very ecstatic that I was asked. That's what I wanted. That's why I went through the certification, was to become an RTE. Then it was, again, am I the right person? Is this the right opportunity? Is this the right time?
I have facilitated several events in my organization, but it was never for around 225 plus organization members.
And out-of-the-box tool would have been really helpful in those early days. We were all under so much pressure generally with COVID, and then it was really time-consuming to configure a lot of these tools that weren't necessarily designed for that task. To make the time to configure those tools and set up everything was, really quite stressful. And if we had something out of the box, I think that would have been a great help.
Some of the things that I wish I would have had at that time from Scaled Agile would have been some of the role-based learnings that would have showed me my strengths as well as my weaknesses. Hey, here's something you should probably work on. This is something that's key to your role, but based on how you've answered, it's not one of your strengths.
The only thing I wished was, we could have some time for exploring the best tools that could be used for PI planning. So that was a miss, that we didn't go through many tools and finalize which one works best.
And there was just so much experimentation needed and preparation needed as well. I've had experienced the kind of energy that you get in a in-person PI planning, and there's a lot of excitement in the room. Usually people are quite buzzy, and I knew that would be really hard to capture online. So I spent a lot of time trying to set up tools and create environments where we could try and recreate some of that energy to try and encourage all of those interactions and make sure they happened.
I feel myself to be very proud at this moment that I've learned a lot over this period of time. We did have few mistakes, lots of learnings. So I've taken many things into consideration from what I learned in my first PI planning.
It's now come to fruition. You're an RTE. This is it. So yeah, it's the combination of that scary, the unknown, exciting because, it's something you've trained for and prepared for, and then exhilarating because you're actually doing it.
I remember my first day as a new RTE. Even though I was riding high from achieving my SAFE certification, I was still pretty nervous. It was the first PI planning event for the art and the company. I looked out into the crowd of attendees and I said to myself, here we go. You know that feeling you get when you're climbing the first hill of a big roller coaster? That's the feeling I get when preparing for PI planning. But if you're new RTE, how and where do you get started? I'm Tamara Nation, Senior Director of Product Management here at Scaled Agile. When you approach any new role, you may be nervous, overwhelmed, and excited all at the same time. In SAFe implementations, we're often asked to step into new roles to support new arts. So here at Scaled Agile, we asked ourselves, how can we make it easier for you to step into a brand new role? To answer that question, we went straight to the source. We talked to new and experienced RTEs to learn, how do they run events? What did they wish they knew when they started their role? And what did they want to learn to be better at their job? Then we synthesized all of that amazing feedback to create what I'm so excited to tell you about today. A role-based plan tailored to what you need to know as an RTE when you get started in your role. Let's check it out together. First, take this quick action when you log into the SAFe community platform. Update your role by navigating to My Settings, Roles and Interests, and selecting Release Train Engineer. That's when you'll see curated content specific to your role, such as RTE Essentials. These are e-learning modules that provide the critical knowledge, tips, techniques, and tools you need as a brand new RTE. So you can start learning key skills right away. And you can go at your own pace, discovering the responsibility of the role. Now that you've got a jump start on what's involved in being an RTE, it's time to lead your art like a pro. And the #1 request we get from new RTEs is, how do I facilitate SAFe events? So let's start with the important art events that you're probably familiar with, like Art Sync, System Demo, Scrum of Scrums, and PO Sync. To help you and your teams navigate and feel confident in these critical events, we created step-by-step facilitator guides for all of them. They include a purpose and agenda, preparation activities, tips to overcome common challenges. You can look for those guides on the Art and Team Events page in the SAFe community platform, which, by the way, are accessible to all SAFe members. Here's a pro tip. Combine the facilitator guides with the videos for your art and team events, the ones I just mentioned. Watch them with your team to get a high-level overview of the what, the why, and the how. The art event videos are on the SAFe community platform and available to all SAFe members. Standing here in the spring of 2022, we all know that remote and hybrid working is here to stay. And SAFe facilitators need effective and easy-to-use tools to help them lead their teams, their trains, and organizations in our virtual world. Our pre-built templates in SAFe Collaborate give SPCs, RTEs, Scrum Masters, and other facilitators the ability to select from a variety of, dare I say, beautiful options to easily plan, execute, and retro together. Recently, we introduced virtual workshops in SAFe Collaborate. These are multi-activity events that create a one-stop shop for more involved SAFe activities. SAFe customers are giving rave reviews to 2 of our newest virtual workshops, the Value Stream Mapping Workshop and the Iteration Execution Workshop. If your organization has a SAFe Enterprise subscription, you can create your own custom workshops in SAFe Collaborate. Think of those as a blank canvas for the people on your art to unleash their creativity and personalize each event. In addition to custom workshops, you also get access to the PI planning event. It's got all the PI planning activities to help you consolidate access to important collaboration details like the program board and team boards. As always, every SAFe event is supported by learning, and all our role-based classes are refreshed and updated to the latest framework guidance in SAFe 5.1. And in more good news, Leading Safe is now available in Japanese, Chinese, Korean, and Portuguese. Finally, let's talk about how you can measure what success looks like for you as an RTE and for your teams. We went back to the source, those new and experienced RTEs, to create the RTE role-based assessment. Use it to see how you're progressing in your individual skills as an RTE and within your own learning path. Additionally, you'll want to know how you're helping your art move towards business agility. Here's how. Use the team and technical agility assessment with growth recommendations. These are based on proven success patterns. Now all SAFE members have access to this, and while the assessment has been available for a while, we haven't shown you what to do with that data until now. The recommendations, and by the way, there are 170 of them, are available from two of our platform partners, Agility Health and Comparative Agility. Maybe your teams are struggling with built-in quality, or maybe they're having trouble getting feedback from users. Whatever the issue you're trying to solve, you'll find a recommendation that includes an activity for you and your teams, as well as links to resources for that activity, like a Safe Collaborate template or an empathy map. Whew! Did you feel that roller coaster? So much new stuff to support you as you practice SAFE. But actually, I have one more bit of good news to share. The role-based homepage isn't just for RTEs. It's also available for SPCs, Scrum Masters, product owners, product managers, portfolio managers, and architects. It's pretty cool, huh? Well, I think so, but I might be a little biased. So don't wait to get started. Set your role right now in the SAFE community platform. And if you'd like to share access to these resources with more members of your team, reach out to Scaled Agile or your Scaled Agile partner to learn more about SAFE Enterprise. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. And please share your feedback with us so we can keep creating the content you need to be confident in your role.
Thank you, Andrew, Dima, and Tamara, for walking us through all these exciting new tools. We want you to feel confident in your ability to do your job. So it's our job to make SAFE easier to practice and learn by improving our SAFE guidance, information, and resources. And if you'd like to share access with more members of your team, reach out to us or your Scaled Agile partner to learn more about SAFE Enterprise. We're always thinking about how to evolve SAFE to incorporate what's working in the real world. We need you to share your successes with us. We need to hear your challenges as well, so that you can inform what we build. I can't wait to share more of the things we're working on in our next launch at the 2022 SAFE Summit this August. Thank you for joining us. Now go forth, work differently, and build the future.